What a day it's been. And now we get to talk to, live from Capitol Hill, Representative Ron Paul, Republican, running for president. Congressman Paul, welcome. Thank you for coming back on the show. And let me just point out, you know, you're there on Capitol Hill. You're not with your fellow candidates at this pro-Israel forum. We've shown several of them speaking today. And this is because the Republican Jewish Coalition chose to exclude you. They say that you're anti-Israel, you're extreme. Here's my question to you, sir. Did you at all take a moment and protest your exclusion and say, say this? I hear you laughing. Say, hey, this is America. I should be heard as well.
Well, that's one point of view, and that's a healthy point of view, and, you know, healthy discussion is a good American tradition, too. But, you know, it's a private organization, so me being very much aware of what private organizations can do, you know, I really don't have much recourse. But I think in public opinion, people will ask questions. Why is he excluded? No, he doesn't say everything like everybody else, but maybe that's what we need. Maybe we do need a full discussion, and to paint it and say, well, maybe he's not supportive of Israel, he's anti-Israel. That's being dismissed rather carelessly and unfairly. So I've had my chance, and we have a little bit of an access to internet to explain my position. So it may well appear here rather shortly.
Okay, so as it appears shortly, I also want to read something that you said not too long ago at a CNN candidate forum. Sir, you say, quote, why do we have this automatic commitment that we're going to send our kids and send our money endlessly to Israel? I think they're quite capable of taking care of themselves. Congressman Paul, with all due respect, that doesn't sound like a candidate who will realistically challenge for the Republican nomination.
Well, what you need to do is go and read the speech that Netanyahu gave on the House floor here just a couple of months ago. He says, we don't need American troops. We can take care of ourselves. So that might be worth looking into it. We don't have a treaty with Israel, and we should be friends with Israel, and we should, you know, trade with them and do all these things. But to commit another generation, we don't even have the right to do it. And if it's necessary to be involved in a war, the president doesn't make that decision. The people do it through a declaration of war in the Congress. I don't know what's so extreme about, you know, following the rules and a little bit of decorum and being sensible about it. I worry about this carelessness of go to war anytime we want. That's our greatest problem, is we're involved in too many wars, and we should be very careful on how we go to wars. But if Netanyahu says that he doesn't need our troops over there, why am I not allowed to say that as well?
But Congressman, with the stance, and we've heard this from you, you know, that we are involved in too many wars, that we could be. Is it emblematic at all of the box you find yourself in? Because you certainly have some very faithful supporters, your core group of supporters, but because you are so committed, so libertarian, you're forever unlikely to garner mass appeal.
Well, I think America's in a box. We're in a box with our national defense. We spend too much money policing the world, getting involved in nation building. We're going bankrupt. We have to borrow all the money we spend overseas. We're in a financial crisis. America's in a box. I'm not in a box. I'm just telling the truth about what's going on.
Do you at all feel like you've boxed yourself in, and so come time for the rest of the country to vote for you, you're not going to have that support en masse?
I think you have it backwards. I think the American people are boxed in and they want out, and that's why I get support. Well, why do I get I get twice as much support as all the other candidates from the military, and they're sick and tired of being boxed in too. So I would say the boxing in is the American people, the American taxpayer, and these unlimited commitments and going to war under the United Nations and NATO, and Obama went into Libya, didn't even consult with the Congress. That's being really boxed in. That's what we have to deal with.
Congressman, speaking of your hands-off foreign policy, we have to talk about Donald Trump. So he's out there, and he's out there saying you don't give a hoot if Iran gets a nuclear weapon.
Well,
you heard that?
He's wrong. Yeah, but he's wrong, because I give a hoot about nuclear weapons. I don't want anybody to have them. I think they're terrible. I think we should do what we can. I mean, we treated Libya differently. We talked them out of it. So what did we do then? We bombed them and threw Gaddafi out of office. So, but yes, I care about it. I think we should have a lot less. But I don't want to be going to war against another country who doesn't have a nuclear weapon, and they're not even on the verge of it, according to our own CIA agents. There's no evidence they're on the verge of a nuclear weapon. And this was the same warmongering scaremongering talk that we went into war against Iraq. Why don't we, pay attention? Why should we? The greatest danger we face today is carelessly starting a war against Iran because of a weapon they don't have. And even recently retired head of the Mossad said that would be the stupidest thing in the world for us to do, is start bombing Iran because they might have a nuclear weapon.
So moving along from foreign policy, got to talk about this race that you're in. And here's my question. Newt Gingrich, is he the Republican frontrunner now? Do you see it that way?
Well, he's the flavor of the week. So we don't know what'll be next week.
Not the frontrunner then, you say?
Well, I mean, it has to be there up for more than a week, and the only thing that really counts is a month from now. And if you look at our growth in the polls, I mean, ours is steady. One thing is that nobody takes it away from me that it's not solid. People don't come and go once they support our campaign. So I feel good about our growth. We were in high single digits 6 months ago. We're in high double digits now, in second and third place solidly. So I would say we just keep doing what we're doing now, and we will have a very good showing come January.
Yeah, you have some very solid numbers. We've seen the polls, in Iowa. But is it frustrating to you at all, Congressman? You have been out there. You've built this solid organization in Iowa, the nuts, the bolts, and then you have this man, Newt Gingrich, really no organization to speak of, have him sort of swoop in, charming the pants off these Iowans. Does that bug you?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't use that, but just remember, easy come, easy go. So we'll worry about that later on. I don't think it's all that solid.
So you're not...
Look, he's the fourth person. He's the fourth person to have done this. So why should you assume that the nomination is locked in?
So you're not too concerned. You say flavor of the week. You say wait till January 3rd.
I'm only concerned about me being able to convince people that we need to change our attitude in Washington, that the status quo won't work, that we need a new foreign policy, we need to look at the Federal Reserve, we need to balance our budget, we need to live within the rule of law, we need to care about civil liberties. That's what I care about.
Congressman Ron Paul, appreciate you being on. Thank you so much there for us.